Hello everyone. It's been 3 or 4 weeks, I think, since my last video. I did have to do a whole new website and I had to do a whole new subscription service, and that required a lot of time. It's been really crazy for the last 3 or 4 weeks. I am shipping out the last of the kits from the previous subscription, and I have everything ready to go for the new boxes. Now, the new subscription kits are going to be structured differently. So if you check out the site, you can go and you could see everything about the new subscription service. There's going to be a sampler box and then a quarterly deluxe box, which will be sent out every 3 months. And you can check that out. I hope to do another video to show you an example of the two different boxes. And like I said, I'm getting all of that ready to go. So for this video in particular, I thought it would be fun to show you one of the projects that's going to go with one of the kits. I will, however, have this digital available for purchase. This is just a little sample of the collection, and I started a few things with the project that I have planned here. But I had lots of fun doing this digital. With everything that I do, I try to add my own little paint work in there, and I got to do that with this collection and just had lots of fun with it. So there's the Queen, and here's my version of the Mad Hatter, and then I just have this mixed media, and again just did a lot of collage work with this one. Here's Alice. This one I painted on this one I printed on vellum, and it's, you know, just really whimsical and fun, what I love to do. Collage, had fun with this rabbit. So on this one I had some fun incorporating some of the elements from Alice in Wonderland kit that I did quite a while, I mean probably like 5 years ago. And so it was fun kind of mixing in some of those elements with this newer collection that I did here. I like that tea-stained look or coffee-stained look, and so I have this paper, and I did put some of this in your kits for those of you who received kits, and we did some collage exercises on these papers. I just love the way it's got kind of that coffee-stained look when I printed this image from the collection, and it looks like an actual old book page. And again, printed on that same type of paper. I really don't know what type of paper this is. I don't know if it's just considered like drawing paper. I'm not sure, but I love the look. And then here's the rabbit again. This time I printed on vellum. This I did on the newsprint paper. And here's the heart again. This I did on some lilac colored paper, just to kind of, you know, different colors, textures, things that I wanted to incorporate in our little project that I plan on doing. And I'm going to show you what I have in mind. So I have this friend who made this really cute little journal, and it goes in this sleeve here, and then it fits inside of this pouch. And it's got this tag with this sack, and I think she made it out of file folders. I thought it was so cute. And then this is the little journal, and it fits inside of here, like so. And then she has this little charm or dangle at the top here. I just loved it, and it inspired me to do a similar project with this collection. Alright, so to start, what I'm going to do is this pouch here. And so, let's see. I thought what I could do is I printed this design, and then I took and cut down the size, you know, to 11 by 8.5. And after I took the white border off my print, you know, it kind of, you can mat it against here, and then I thought I could attach this just to make it more durable, is my thought. So I'm going to go ahead and just attach a little bit of adhesive, and then I think I'm going to take and stitch around the edge, is my plan here. So I'm going to go ahead and stitch right around these edges here, is the first thing I'm going to do. Okay, so I stitched my paper, and I did stitch around some of these squares and around some of the hearts, and just kind of wanted that stitched look. I did end up tearing a part of my paper here, so I applied some glue that I'm kind of waiting for that to dry. But that is the way that I repaired that, is I just laid some glue down to kind of mesh that paper back together, because I had pulled a little too hard when I was running it through this through the sewing machine. So if you do that, you could just apply a little glue, and I think it looks pretty good. Now what I have to decide is if I want this to be the front. So if I want it to be this front section here or this back section. And I think I'm going to put it for the back section. Now on hers, let's see, hers is going to be a little taller, the one that she made me, but I'm thinking, let's see what we can do to make this just a little bit longer. And I have to figure out what part here I want to use. I could take some black, maybe, some black cardstock. And this is just black cardstock that I pick up at Michael's when they have it buy one, get one 50% off. I stock up on it because it's a nice heavyweight cardstock. And I think that this looks really good against this design here. I think I might just attach it like this. I think that will give me the height that I need. So the height that we're going for is going to be about 9 inches in height. So about 9 inches in height is what we're going to do. I'm going to just use some of my tape adhesive to attach this. And then, gotta see about how wide we want this. So this is about 6 inches. So it's gonna be 9 by 6, 9 inches in height and 6 inches in width is what we are gonna go with. I'm going to place a little dot of glue just to hold my stitching in place so it doesn't just all unravel. Okay, and I am going to distress my edges. I'm going to use Vintage Photo. So since this is our back, what I'm going to do is I'm thinking I want to just sew this down the edge and then I'll trim it. But I think I want to cut this at an angle. And then what I might do is just tuck it and sew it, you know, just to give it a finished edge. Now, I am not good at sewing. I'm quite bad at it. So this is going to be far from perfect. But again, you know, we're going to have all this lace and other stuff covering everything. So I'm not too worried about it. So I think I'm going to do that, and then we'll have our journal that will slide in. So again, I think I'm just going to take and fold that and stitch it, give it a nice clean edge, and then I'm going to sew down here and the bottom, and then just trim everything is my thinking here. Okay, so I sewed along the edges, and like I said, I'm not very good at sewing. I think I'm going to trim this a little bit so the black doesn't show, and then of course trim this up a little bit. I have this little gap here, which I probably shouldn't have, but you know, that is what lace and trims are for, you know, to hide all your mistakes. So that will be my plan for that. All right, and the bottom here, I think I might just leave that as it is. I was thinking that I really like this rabbit, and the colors of his jacket match this fabric, and cut him out and then back him against some of the black cardstock and use him as our main focal point. And I might take and, you know, add in some laces and things just to kind of give it a layered look, add in some of these flowers, just to kind of see what we can do here. I do have some of the ephemera that I cut out. I got a Cameo Silhouette 5, and I have to say, oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. If all of you have printables that you know you want to have all your ephemera cut out and everything easily, yeah, this was all cut out with the Cameo Silhouette 5. Look at how nice. I mean, this one I was off a little bit, but I was just learning how to use the machine. This one cut just perfectly, except for I had this little piece that I should have cleaned up before I cut. But I mean, look at it, just cuts beautifully around all of these edges. Look at cut out in between there. Oh, I just love it. I love it. I might get another one so I can cut even more ephemera. I wanted to get just one to see how it worked, because I plan on cutting some of this up and putting them in kits, in the subscription kits for all of you. And yeah, that, after giving this a go, I'm loving it. So I'm just gonna get another piece of my black cardstock. Again, I get this at Michael's. Look, it is a nice heavyweight cardstock. I think you can get it buy one get one 50% off. I think I saw that. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay him down and then cut him out. All right, we got our rabbit there. I might use some of these hearts. Okay, and we're just going to take and glue him down. I was trying not to get it on the black part because I really didn't want the glue to show through, but I'm hoping after we get this cut out, it's really not going to be that noticeable. I just kind of want this little piece of black cardstock just to kind of mat a little bunny here. Alright, I think that's pretty good. So now we'll have our little bunny on the front there. Oh, I love him. I think he is just so cool. And we'll have our pocket watch. I think I'm going to pop that up. And then what we can do is, you know, we can create a little tag, make a little pocket, and we can put that in there like so. Maybe do something like that. Alright, so I need to blacken the edges of my pieces of ephemera. I already printed these on cardstock, so I'm not really going to worry about backing these, but I still want it to match, you know, I have this black outline with our bunny, so I'm going to just use a black marker, I think. Yep, that is what it needed. And then we'll do the same for the heart here. Okay. Now I have to figure out how I'm going to attach all of this because I do want to create this pocket. Okay, so I found a little baggie of trim and I'm just gonna go through and maybe use some of these scraps. I did find this one piece and I know I've put a lot of this in your subscription kits, so hopefully all of you can find some good trims to use for this project. Again, I'm just using scrap pieces. Now, again, I want to create a pocket here and I'm thinking I don't know how I want to do this. I was thinking I might stitch, just take the sewing machine and just stitch here first and then glue it down. Okay, so I have him all stitched. I like the look of it. And now I need to figure out what I'm going to do here at the bottom before I adhere this down. I think I'm going to just place a little glue here to hold this layer down of trim. Oops. And then, let's see, I'm going to go ahead and lay our bunny down. Now I want to make sure when I lay him down, I figure out where I want to put that. So I think right about there. I got a bunch of glue where I did not want it. Okay. Let's see, he's gonna go behind, or this heart. I wanted that heart to go behind. It's gonna go right about there. Okay, one thing I want to make sure is, because I put a lot of glue under this trim, I want to make sure it didn't seep through the fabric and stick through, so I'm just going to take a ruler and make sure that if any glue got down there, I'm going to unstick it, and see, I do. I have glue that stuck, so I'm just going to use my ruler to press that down. So now I have my pocket watch, and I thought it would be fun just to add a little bit of gold, just to kind of give it more of a metal look. And so I picked these pens up at Walmart. I thought they were pretty reasonable. I think I paid a couple dollars is all. And my mom and I really love these paint pens. They were great for even going along the edge of some of your journal papers or things like that, just to give it kind of a gold antique look. just add a little dot on the buttons, or maybe just do like a little X. The other thing I wanted to do with this pocket watch here is I got some of the gold chain, and again this came in your subscription box. And I thought I would take a piece of that chain and run it through the pocket watch. So we're just going to take a little piece here. And I thought we could just run this through like so and just let that dangle up. I like that. And then I'm going to take some foam squares. I want to make sure that I have this going over my bunny, and I'm going to put one on this other edge of the left edge of my pocket watch here. And then I'm just going to take some glue to hold that chain up onto the cover there. But see how those little details just, they add so much. Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to do before I get going too crazy here. I'm just going to use a little bit of glue to hold that in place. Oops. And just add another layer under the watch here. And bring that over. I might cut through the center just to kind of give it a tattered look. I kind of like that. So I'm going to go ahead and glue these little pieces down. I don't need to get crazy with the glue. I just need to make sure I have enough glue to hold those pieces down. We'll tuck that under there. Just going to put a little bit of glue, and we're going to press that down so it goes, so it touches only to the bunny. We don't want it to glue down onto our fabric. We want to keep all this open for our pocket. And we could do a few things here. We could do Alice, you know, we could create a little tag and have her stick out like so. We could do one of the cards. We could have her up at the top there. Maybe just do something like that. I kind of like that. I think I'm going to use this card. We could back it against some of the black cardstock just to give it a little more durability. I think I might do that. So let's go ahead and I'm just going to use a little bit of tape adhesive. And I think right about there looks good. And then that will go in like that. I like it. I think this is looking so cute. Okay. I got this top part here. Yeah, that I like. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue these pieces of trim down. Again, I want to kind of tatter that end, so I'm just going to cut through the middle there a little bit. And what I'm going to do is apply a little glue right on the top here, because I only want it to stick to that back part of that fabric there. I don't really want it on the black cardstock, which I did get a little on there. Shoot. I think just to make sure that the glue doesn't get down there, I'm going to place it behind here. And again, these backing to your shipping labels, they work great for so many different things. I use them all the time. I love them. They come in very handy. Alright, and then we need to glue this down up here. And again, I don't need to get carried away with the glue, I just need a few dots here and there. Just enough to hold it in place. We have just this little top flap here. It's kind of the lid to our pouch. I was thinking what I might do for that top section there, and I don't know if I want it to come down again very far, maybe just about like that. I have a few of the flowers cut out from that material that I was showing you. I might just use one of those. I got that. And then I can put this one up like so. I have to attach it to something. It's black. Ooh, I like that. I might have to use that on the bottom here. I got this blue piece here. This might work. Just need to be able to piece all of this together in a way. See, I kind of want it to go in a, need it to go in a triangular shape. So let's see if we have that like that. Maybe this there. Let's see, she had hers coming down maybe like this way instead. Like that, or maybe, let's see, that, and then that would flip over like so. I want to make sure I introduce some of this again. And I'm going to just start layering some of these trims on top of one another. So I just need a little bit of glue. I might take and stitch some of this. Let's see, I need to I'm going to take some of this trim and I'm going to glue it around the edge of my flower here. So I might have to cut. Or I could put a little piece down here. I'm just kind of grouping all of these trims just to make kind of one solid piece here. All right, I think I will let that dry. I think I'm going to take this piece here and attach that to the bottom. I really like that black and white look. I think it looks pretty sharp. So we'll just apply some glue to the back here. Lay that down. And that kind of finishes the back part as well. Gives it a nice clean finished edge, and then I'm just going to trim this. Oh, I think it looks so good. While all of that is drying, I think we can go ahead now and work on our journal. I don't think I'm going, we did our pocket differently than she did. I like our little pocket the way it is with this tag here. You could put another tag in, if you wanted to. You could put like a manila tag to back that, but I'm just going to leave that as it is for right now. So on the inside, she has this sleeve that she did, and then she made this little journal, this little traveler's journal. And so I thought we could go ahead and get started on that part. Now I already made the envelope, but I will show you how I made it. It's really easy to make. We need our envelope to be about 4.5 inches in width by 7.5 inches in height. And I didn't really change the height. I just left it, after you cut that white border off, I left it the height that it was because I take and score about 1/2 inch at the bottom to flip that up for our envelope. So all I did is I took and figured out, let's see, kind of want it right about like so. So take, and again we want that to be about 4.5, so that's pretty good. It's kind of right where that line is right there on the design. You can kind of use that as a marker and just fold it right there. And then we'll take and fold that other piece over. Okay, and then we'll need our scoreboard. And we are going to score down, like I said, about 1/2 inch or 1/2 inch. And I'm going to just score along the entire bottom there. And fold that up. And then finish it really good. Okay, then I'm going to open it, and we're going to want to cut right where our score lines are. So I'm going to cut right there. We do not want to cut the middle section, you leave that alone. And you're going to go over to this end here and cut that bottom piece off that we just scored, that 1/2 inch. Okay. Now we're just going to apply a little glue on this edge. I'm going to use my tape gun, so it's vellum. And on vellum, I really don't like using glue because it crinkles. It crinkles on vellum, so I like to use some sort of sticky tape instead. I do need to go across, I need to make sure it's on this edge here. Alright, and then the bottom part, again, we're just going to apply some adhesive and fold that up. Now all I need to do is make a notch at the top. And I have my 2-inch circle punch is what I'm using. And I'm just going to eyeball where that center is. Okay, so now that we have our notch, we have our envelope done. So now we have our sleeve all done. And again, that is going to fit right inside of our pouch, and then we'll put our journal inside. This cardstock again is nice and heavy, and this is going to be the cover for our travel journal, so you do want it to be sturdy. I just need to cut this to 8.5, and so we're going to score it at 4 1/4, get our middle. So 4 1/4. Alright, I'm going to flip it over and we're going to score that other side. Oops. Because this is really thick cardstock. Alright, and burnish those edges. I thought what we could do is we could use that book page. Maybe use some of this. I have rabbit hole at the top there. I think I might just take and just start tearing along. There we go. Some of my ephemera. I have the queen. I think she's kind of cool. Could use her. Let's see. And I have, you know, maybe do something like so. And of course we need something to go behind her. Let's see. Might take a little bit of that pink trim. I have this textured, I don't know, it's from something. Could even use just a piece of that. It is from the Tim Holtz embossing folder, I think is what I used there. But I kind of like that texture. It's getting there. As you can see, those layers, they just make it. And then we'll have our next layer here. Again, I want to distress those edges up. So I need to distress edges on here. Layers, layers, layers. So now we have this piece. Kind of attach that like so. Yeah, that makes a big difference. I might even do a little black just along this right here, this edge here. I already got one kind of on this edge. Oops. And you could use palette paper, wax paper, you know, for a backing. If you don't have like these backing to your shipping labels, or if you don't ship things out, you know, parchment paper works really good, wax paper. There we go. I like it. I might even just add a little bit on her, just on her sleeve there, just to define some of those areas. I want to be pretty careful though. Just going right up against that edge is all I'm doing. Right. So now we can glue down our heart. And this is where, again, those layers, textures, all of that kind of come into play. It really makes a big difference to have all these different layers. You want some sticking up, some kind of laid down loose. You know, maybe you don't want to glue it down all the way. I don't really like things glued down flat. I like things to have a little lift. I really like to where you can see all those different layers. But, you know, that's just me. I'm wondering if I want to pop that up on that edge just a little bit. I think that would look kind of neat, and I'm going to do that just on the edge. This edge right here. Whoops, I had that going the wrong way. It's going that way. I might just use a little bit of glue just to kind of keep that down. Alright, and our next layer is going to be this lace, I think. Or is it going to be her? She might be her. Because I think we have the lace going over her. I want to pop her up. Okay, so I got all of my foam tape on her, and now I just need to figure out where I'm going to place her because I don't want to go too low. I have to have room for this and the flower. Next will be this little piece of trim. We're just going to lay that across. I'm going to use just a little bit of glue. Next, we're going to have a flower and our little sentiment down here. Okay, there we go. And I think we'll set that right there. I'm going to reinforce this with a little bit of glue. Okay. And now I just have this. I think I might back this with some of the black cardstock because it is a little flimsy. I think this is looking really good. I'm very happy with it. And if all of you are following along, I hope you're enjoying this project. Okay, I'm going to take and we're going to place this kind of right in the center. Right about there. Make sure I'm straight. And then I just have to trim this piece off down here. I think that looks great for our cover. I love it. I love the pouch. I love the cover of our travel journal. I think it looks major cool. And then we have our sleeve that we have done as well. Let's see how this fits inside. And it's perfect. And then that will go inside like so. And then, like I said, I think it would be fun to kind of have her peeking out. So for the inside of our journal. I have my pages all printed out. I am debating on, I might just want to put some plain pieces in between. I need to cut all of it down to 8 inches. 8 inches by 8 by 8. So I'm going to go ahead, cut them all down to 8 by 8, distress my edges. I'm going to do all that. And then I'm going to pick which pages I want to go inside. I probably want one of him in vellum. I like, just pick whichever ones you're going to want to use. Definitely want to use Alice and the cat and the Mad Hatter. I got the Queen. So let's see. I was thinking like 8 pages. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut all of these to an 8 by 8 size. Okay, so I took and I folded all of my papers. I cut them down to the 8 by 8 size, except for a few, because I realized that I was cutting off sections of the paper that I didn't want to cut off. So, and then I did add in a few things, which I will show you. So one of the papers that I didn't cut all the way down to an 8 by 8 was, let's see, not that one. I'll leave these in order. I have them all in order. Okay, it was the Queen one. And I didn't want to cut this off to make it 8 by 8, so I decided to fold it, and I just thought that it would get sewn in right here, and then this would flip out. And so how I did that is, I just cut the borders off, and I took first the left edge, and I sized it up to my page, and then that's where I figured out where to fold it. And so then I folded it there, and then I could see the edge of my page, and I just took and made another fold. So anyway, that is the one page that I did not cut down to an 8 by 8 size, because again, I just really wanted to leave all of this intact. And I kind of like these little flip out pages. Alright, so after I took and folded down all my pages, here's what I came up with. So I have the Mad Hatter page, and I did distress everything pretty good, pretty heavily. And then again, I just took, after I sized it down to the 8 by 8, I just took and folded it in half. I did add in one of these blue receipts, kind of like to mix vintage with this whimsical. And then I have the drawing papers that kind of have that copy stained look to them already. Just added some distressing and stenciling is what I did there. I did also take my Deco Edge scissors and kind of give it that torn look on the edge there. And then I have the Cheshire Cat. And then I have one of these bags, and again, this bag is going to be in the subscription that you're going to be receiving. I found these bags. I really thought they were neat because they're in French. And I might need to distress this bag up a little bit. And then I have the, let's see, this vellum, and I did fold this one a little different as well because I didn't want my fold to go through the bunny there. So what I did is I took my page and I just kind of figured out where, I wanted that bunny. I wanted this to be my main focal point, but, sized it against the previous page and just took and folded around my page like that. And then after I had it sized down, I just took this other edge and sized it to this other edge and made another fold here, is what I did. So again, I'll have another fold out. And then I just put this signature in front. That'll fold back, and then when you open it, you'll see the bunny. And then it, you know, it'll fold out like this. Okay, so after I inserted that one, I did another drawing paper, stenciled it, and then I have another receipt, and again I folded this one a little differently. I just took the receipt, it was like this, and again I kind of did the same thing as I did with the vellum bunny print, and I just took and leaned my page up against one of the signatures, and I just bent it back like that, folded it, and then flipped it over. And so, you know, that would flip out like that. And then I have another glassine bag. This has some sort of adhesive on it, and so I'm going to stick that down, and then, you know, you have this little pocket here. Here's another drawing paper that I stenciled, did these different colors. Been using stencils a lot. They have been so much fun. And then I have the queen fold out here. Set it there like so. Alright, so I just need to find some string to bind this all together, but I might see what we could do for pockets for the inner section here. It is 4 1/4, so maybe about 4 inches I think should work. 4 inches in width. Yeah, that seems to be perfect. And then I think I'm going to do about 2 3/4 for the height. And we'll just stick that there, and then cut this down, this other piece down to 2 3/4, and then I will have my 2 pockets. Cut it at an angle, just a little bit. And then we could do the same on the other side. We're just going to angle it just a little bit. So I'm going to let that dry. Now going back to our signature here, our one signature, I might just do a few fun things to, you know, just add some decorative elements. I got this a long time ago from Hobby Lobby, so I think I'm going to just take and maybe we could add an edge here of this, maybe kind of pretty. Okay, and then I have some washi that I've just been going through my stashes of stuff I haven't pulled out in a long time. I have this black and white, kind of like that. And we can just put a little bit of this on this page here. Again, just simple little things to decorate some of these pages. And this, I'm going to go ahead and take this adhesive off. And these bags are going to be in one of the subscription kits. Again, I might just take another piece of this and just add that little decorative element there. So, you know, if you have some little scraps of papers and things, just pull those out and you can use them for little things like what you see me doing here. And then here, I don't know, this is where you could probably take and, you know, we could put maybe Alice there. And we got this, just to kind of do something fun there. Something really quick and fun, easy. So let's see, it is 3 1/4 by 5 3/4. Take and I think I will just attach that there. All right, so we have that there. I could even create a little pocket here, which I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm just going to glue this side down. Side. And then you could put in, you know, a journal tag or a journal card or something in your little pocket there. I think I am going to distress it up a little bit. And then you could create another pocket right here, which is what I might do. And so what I think I'm going to do, because this is pretty frail, that edge there, is I'm just going to lay it over this scrap piece that I have, just to give it a little added strength on this edge here, because I'm afraid it'll just rip, especially since I plan on making it into a side pocket. Add some glue there. Now I have a double pocket there. Okay, so a few other things that you can do just to decorate your pages easily, your blank pages if you have any, is your scrap pieces. And I think I'm going to just take and place that on the edge there just for, you know, this little decorative element on our page. And then I can also take this and just add that there. So just place that there for a little added embellishment. And then you still have your journaling space, which is nice. I think that can go right there. So I'm just going to distress this up a little bit so I have a little bit of, you know, a decorative element there. Create like a little flap typey thing. That would look kind of neat. And so I'm just going to glue the very top because I don't want to lose my journaling space. This will allow us to journal underneath. And I'm just going to take and fold that at the top. So we have all of this for journaling space. Really quick, like, just add a little bit. Distress all those edges. Okay, so after I have all that distressed up, let's see, how do I want to do this? I might just, I think I'm just going to apply a little glue at the top here as well. And create another flip up. So I'm just going to take and fold that right about there. And then I got journaling there that I can do, and that kind of just holds it all down. Probably go through and distress it up a little more a little later. This needs to be distressed. I'm just going to go through and distress everything that just needs, you know, a little distressing. So I'm just going to glue down this edge here. Slide that glue around a little bit. So I might be able to do 2 hearts. Don't want to lose too much of my journaling spaces is the main thing. So, you know, washi is a great way to decorate up some of those pages, and then you still have lots of journaling space. We got journaling space here on this page. You could do a little stamping, but I think this is looking pretty good. Put a journaling card in. I might have to back this as well. That looks good. That looks good. Probably put something here. I mean, I could, like I said, I could just keep going and going and going. I'm gonna let all of you kind of decide how you want to finish decorating the inside of this. I just kind of wanted to get it started, give you a few ideas. Let's see, this needs to go there. All right, we are ready to take and put this inside of our cover. I, of course, made it way thick, so some of those pages stick out, but that doesn't really bother me. And we're just going to take some thread here to hold that in. Right. I think I got it. It is in there. That worked. Oh, I like that. And then, like I said, you could put some dangles at the top. Using this heavyweight cardstock really helped with this. It didn't tear, and I'm afraid that if you used a lesser weight, it could possibly tear. Yeah, look at that. And then, of course, we have our pockets here on the side. You could add in your cards and things on your pockets. And now we can take and put this inside of our sleeve and inside this pouch that we created. It is going in our sleeve. Yay! So it fits in our sleeve, and then it's going to go inside of here. Like so. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay, and then we had the top part, our flap, which was going to come down over all of this, just to kind of finish it off. It should be dry now. Okay, so this is dry now, and again, I think I'm just going to lay it over like that, and we'll glue this to the back section here, is what I'm thinking. And we'll let that dry. So this is how the back looks. A few little threads here that need to kind of take care of. You know, and we could maybe add another flower to the back just to kind of dress it up a little more, make it match with what we have up there. So maybe I'll just lay that there. It is done, and I love the way it turned out. Now, what I did is I have this little slit here that just by luck happens to keep this top flap closed, and I just stuck his ear right in between these flowers, right down in through there, and that holds that front flap down in place. I think it turned out so cute. And so again, we have our top flap here, And you know, you might want to do something to kind of dress this up a little more right through this back here. And then we have our pocket here. And then inside we have our journal, which I will probably go back and do a little decorating, maybe some stamping, but not too much. I really want to leave it so there's a lot of room to journal. But love the way it all turned out. I got this, that folds out that way. But lots of journaling space. And then we could put a little tag or something inside of here. So those little flaps are really kind of cute. Place to put journal cards. We've got our little side pocket there. More journaling space. We could do something fun here. You could even put one of those flowers there. You know, maybe do something like that, just for fun. Create a little flap. More journaling space. Lots and lots of journaling space. And then we have our pockets here. So yeah, I love the way it turned out. Got some journal cards in there. All right. I hope you enjoyed this project. It is one where we just start to finish. I am still working on the file folder journal. It's kind of all in this box here. I've been working on it. I still have to figure out how I'm going to bind it all together. I might actually make it into 2 journals, so I will be back to show all of you how I bind that all together and finish that up. But we at least have this little project all said and done. In through there. So we have that, and then I showed in the previous video the little recipe album. This is one of the kits that all of you will be receiving from the previous subscription service. I have the instruction sheet, project sheet, all ready to go for that. This was a fun little project, and I really liked the way it turned out. So that was from one of the kits. So yeah, I have been busy putting together all these projects and the kits, and I did the new website. I've got new products that I launched on this site, some new Tim Holtz. I had a 30% off. I'm not sure. I think the sale might be over. However, because it's a new site, I think it should let everybody accept the 30% off when you sign up for the newsletter. And if you have any trouble with that, just shoot me an email. I will honor the 30% off. Just get in touch with me, which is dreamsetc@yahoo.com. And yeah, I will work with you on getting that coupon if you're wanting any of the new items. So I hope all of you enjoyed this project. The digital for this, again, for those of you who have subscribed under the new subscription service, you will be able to get this digital collection for free. Those of you who haven't subscribed, I will have it on sale. If you're liking the digitals, if you like this video, if you could just hit the like button and the subscribe button, that would be greatly appreciated. And I will be back to finish up our file folder journal, and I have the flip-flop journal that I showed in a previous video, and started on that, and that was from a previous subscription kit as well. So I am getting caught up on everything. I hope you love this project. It was lots of fun to do. And if you're loving the videos, if you're liking these projects, please be sure to hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, and I will catch you back really soon with another project and another video. Thank you so much for watching.